Hello everyone, welcome back to Logic Bombs. We're gonna make it through this fifth row today and see what disastrous thing they have in store for me at the halfway point of the game, heading into row 6. That's the plan anyway. These are all 2. Well, X, Y, A, B, they all have to add up together to 6 in order for doubling it to get 12. The only way to do that with 4 distinct integers is 0, 1, 2, 3. Distinct non-negative integers. So we have a 0, 1, a 2, and a 3. X can't be 3. Well, okay. Even more specifically, X and Y must add to 1, and A and B must add to 4. Wait, is that possible? No, X and Y add to 2, excuse me. And then A and B add to 4. So X and Y are 0 and 2, and A and B are 1 and 3. Okay. Well, if X and Y are 0 and 2, these two monsters have to be gotten by the same bomb. And likewise, these two monsters. Now, A can no longer be 1, because it has to get these 3. And these 3, for that matter. So B is 1. And A is 3. I'm not sure yet I can connect X and Y, weirdly. The far right column and bottom row, I mean, 7 is a lot, and we already have 2 non-walls, so the rest have, all but 1 have to be walls. But so what, right? I mean, I guess it means, for example, that of these 2 squares, at least 1 actually is a wall. So these 2 rows, one of them is satisfied. These 2 columns, at least one of them is satisfied. But I don't know what I can do with that. There's some asymmetry in how X and Y are arranged, right? There's more walls in the column that links Y to the bomb than that links X to the bomb, right? So it would be a little bit easier if Y were 0. And the same is true over here, in this group. There's more walls here than here, so it'd be easier for Y to be 0. But that's not a proof. I guess another thing we can say is that these 2 cells, I don't know whether they're walls or not, but I know they're the same. They must either both be walls if x is 0, or neither be walls if x is 2. Kind of interesting. But doesn't say much. Oh, am I I've missed the fact all this time that there are 2 gems. Oh, that leads to a ton of useful deductions. This, yeah. These 2 groups can't touch. Okay, that's very helpful. Oh. It turned out that y was actually 2 at x was 0, even though that seemed harder from where we were. Lots of cleanup work to do, it seems. Oh, can't have these blowing each other up. This doesn't necessarily have to get out. It would be, in fact, it can't get out. It would touch into the other group. So it's perfectly happy to be walled in here. Now connectivity isn't an issue anymore. It's just edge clues. So get ready for a lot of scanning. This column and this one. Row, column needs 1, 0, and I assume 1. Yep. You know what would be nice if during that little animation at the end, if like x turned into 2 before it blew up or something. To say like that's what the number was. This is an interesting arrangement. What do you do with this? The 5s are pretty constrained. There's only room for one more non-wall in the whole columns / rows. This 1, okay, that's important. Because wherever you put the wall, all of these 2 monsters are gotten by the bombs in this column. And that means, of course, you can't put the wall here, because then this one would get both of them. Likewise, you can't put it here. So that's cool. Now this 1 can't be allowed to go down here, and this one can't be allowed to come up. So the column is done. And that makes this 5 very excited. And I assume something interesting will happen in this area as well, maybe? in another corner. This corner? Right, because this one can't go there. I somehow got more going this way. I'm not sure why. Well, these monsters have to reach out to here, right? Okay. You have to get out to sadly be blown up, I'm afraid. And so do you. Now this row needs all walls. 2, 3. There's at least one here, but it could be 2. This column is done. You gotta go there. This row needs both walls. You gotta go that way. This column, this row's done anyway. One of these has to be a wall so this doesn't get to this monster. So this is not a wall, which gives us the column. This column's done as well. Whoa. It's a little bit constraining for connectivity, I guess. This gem has to get out to one side or the other, but I don't know which yet, I think. Because this might connect all the way around to here. Or the gem. Oh, actually, it has to. Because the gem can't connect to both of these. They blow each other up. So it connects to only one side. Which means to connect this up to this, which they must be because they're part of the same group, you have to go around. So this is forced. And then you have to be able to get in here as well. Neat. I like that. Okay, what's my crazy new idea for row 6? It's too big! Is this 15? 5, 10, 15. It is. Okay, I want to go back and look at puzzle 1. Was it actually smaller than the others, or was it... No, this was also 10 by 10. I just remember at the beginning it felt more crowded, like there were fewer things. And then at some point it's like, wait a minute, this one's 10 by 10. Have they all been that way? And I don't think I ever went back and checked, but they were. And now they're 15 by 15. Oh my god. There's only one wall in this whole region? It must be either here or here, no? Because otherwise the 3 would get too many guys. So we have this. And that gives us this. $13 might be interesting. Maybe. I'm not so sure about that yet. And, oh, so the 3, by the way, therefore, can't be going left or right. It has to pick up 3 above it or 3 below it. So this can only be gotten by you, and likewise here and here. Only one wall in this whole row? I mean, it might be in here or it might not. But these sections up here have 2 walls exactly, which is sort of tantalizing. It suggests that they block things off like this, but it's not a proof. It could be like this, and then this goes here. This goes here, and the 3 goes down. Yeah, I mean these really large. Ooh. These really large numbers seem important. Like, there's only space for 3 gaps in this whole row. One of them's here. We could just barely fit these 2 to let these guys touch each other. Just barely. And here, I could just barely fit this, right? So it sort of suggests maybe that is what you do, but I can't prove it yet. Oh, this too... I guess I'm not going to learn anything very interesting, but there's only one more wall, and it has to go in here, or these 2 would blow each other up, so it can't go there. Amazing. And look, the same idea is happening here. This 12, there's space for exactly 3 gaps. This one, and this one, perhaps. Down here, there's 10, space for 5 gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just enough that these could reach up. 8 leaves room for 7 gaps, which is just enough for all of these to happen. But there's also just enough space for these to reach down, aren't there? Yeah, interesting. But one of those must actually happen, and the other must not. Right? What does that tell me? I guess it's not true. They could sort of like partially happen. Like this one could go up and this one could go down, maybe? Is that possible? I don't think so. No, it's not. Because then these three would need to some begotten by this and some begotten by this. Oh, this column has been done. Aha, and that's going to resolve what's going on with these big rows. Now there's not enough space. This 13 is done. Okay, we're in business now, bucko. You can't touch this 3 anymore. You gotta go like this. So the 3 goes up. Which means these come down. There we go. But scanning is getting harder now that the numbers are bigger. Noticing when I'm missing a row or something. I will fail that check more and more often, I suspect. Wait, this isn't true. There's no walls in here. I can't say the whole thing is non-walls. Oh, but I can say the 2 walls have to be in here, so they can't be on the outside. That's true. Now this 11 is done. Oh, is that true? That's... No, this, for all I know, this could be the last wall. And these could be 2 separate arms. Two, three, four, 5. No, I don't know if I can stomach more puzzles of this size. This one's not especially difficult. Like, the logic to figure out what was going on here was just, oh, I missed this column was done a while ago or whatever. But it's a lot of work. Finding finished rows and columns. Like this one. One, two, three, four, five, 6. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. This row is finished. This column should be done, yeah? Which finishes this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not quite done here. One of these 3 is still open. These 3 are currently isolated. One of them, at least, must get out to here. But this 10 column only has 1 spare space left. So it must be dedicated to getting one of these 3 out here. The other 2 must be blocked. And this must be blocked. Which gives me the second row. this 10 column has a similar idea. One of these three has to be open, which is the fifth open one, so this is closed. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So two of these are closed. Okay, I guess I need to count how much is going on here. Could you reach all the way out? I don't think so. 5, 6, 7. You can only reach one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't make it. It has to be you. Which should do important things to these columns somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Whoa, this row looks scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's fine. I'm counting the wrong thing. I needed to count walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this 11 is done, so there's a wall here. And presumably, well, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's all the opens, so that's closed. Uh-oh, I filled in every square and the puzzle's not over. Right? Yeah, it does say something's wrong. Oh, God, could you just point to the clue that's wrong? You don't have to tell me which wall is wrong, but tell me where what I've filled in is impossible. Or maybe all the clues are right, but the puzzle doesn't connect up? I think it does. Sure looks like it does. "15 by 15, by the way, is way bigger than 10 by 10. It goes from 100 squares to 225 squares. It's the power of squaring. Ugh. Just... Oh. That. Yes. I think I maybe could have done that a while ago. I don't know if I can bear to go on if they're all going to be this big. Tell me about a new idea in the next row. Oh, okay, it's not that big again. So is that just like a one-timer thing, or... is that the whole row? No. Huh. I don't know. Alright, well, maybe the misery will end, since it does seem as though they stop being so big after a bit. There's a lot of gems here, my goodness. There's so many gems. Is the number of gems equal the number of monsters? It can't, right? No, there's way more monsters than gems here, I think. Okay, we're working from the inside out, I guess. Okay, well the corners are sort of easy to do. It's these 4s that are showing up everywhere. That does these columns. How are you getting got? It's got to be by this 2, hasn't it? Yeah, and this 2 has to get some monsters. It's got to go that way. Okay. This one's got to get some monsters. Got to go that way. This row is done. Oh, there's still monsters left. Oh my god. There's just so much to look at in a puzzle this size. This bomb can't be allowed to hit either of the monsters, so the walls can't be on the edge. Only one wall? It's got to be here. Or else one of these gems will touch this gem. The same true down here? It is. Now, this group can't touch either of these groups because they all have gems already. Same with this group. This row is done. This row is done. These columns. Okay, slow down. This was incorrect. These were already done because they already had 2 walls, not because I could add 2 more. Okay. These columns are behaving the same way as the rows on the edge were. Okay, at least this one solves in a fairly, systematic way. I haven't really had to do a lot of scanning. It's very symmetrical. Should be something similar over here. Yep. This row looks like it's saying it's done, and indeed it is. This one too, I think? Yeah. This column. And this column. Can't connect there. Can't connect there. Can't connect here, finishing the column, or here, finishing this column. This row needs more walls, and this one does too. This row is done. This row needs all walls. I bet this one does too. Yes. And this one... it's a very pretty final puzzle solution, I have to say. Very symmetrical. Yaxby! Okay. I don't know why I felt I had to say that today. Why are these algebraic... Why... I mean... I can tell what A is. It's 4. You told me it's 4. Alright, whatever. If you insist, you can not tell me. B is 5. Yep, that's all true. So perhaps the big question is, which gem does the big row in the middle get to? Because there's one group without a gem, and it's this one. It has to connect to one of the other 6 groups. But I don't know which. Well, I do. It's this one. Okay, that wasn't the big question. Because there's only 5 walls in this row, and if I put them all here, it's still going to have to touch. So I can say it doesn't connect to any of the others. Where to now? Oh, these can't connect. There's only one non-wall in this whole area, but I don't have any idea where it goes. Oh, right. This group can't connect to these B's, and there's only one more wall in this column and in this column, which has to be one of these two. So we can do this. There's one wall in this row, which has to be one of these 3, so it's not over here. There's one wall here, so it can't be here. Does that do this 8? I think it does. Yeah. Okay. Well, so what? Ah, these columns have been done for... No, they haven't. There's 3 more here. Oh, but I can... Yeah. There's still a wall in one of these 2 cells. And that's the last wall in the column, so we can do the same thing here as we did on the edges of this area. Now these rows might be getting interesting for... Yeah, these 5s are now not finished. Oh, but this is. These aren't allowed to touch. I finally spread them wide enough that I could definitively cut them apart. Okay. I mean, I think the last big idea has to be in these 10 cells, doesn't it? Somewhere? Because this row is pretty constrained. There's only one wall. So 4 of these are dribbling down into here, right? Into this row. So I need my 4 walls to stop them. But they don't have to be quite the same. Well, I think we need to look at 4 dominoes. This domino here has exactly 1 wall. This one has exactly 1 wall. This one has exactly 1 wall. This one has exactly 1 wall. That's 4, right? And we know something? Tell me that tells me something. I thought I might conclude that there has to be exactly 1 here or both here or something. But it can't be both here. Because we only have 5 rows total, 5 walls total for these 2 rows. And if I did this, that would be 6 for just this half of the 2 rows. This spot could all be empty, which would be fine, but this would be overfilling. So this can't both be full. But I think, like, I mean, they could both be empty, and that wouldn't necessarily be a problem, because I could do this, right? So I'm not sure what filling those dominoes gets for me. It tells me there's at most 1 wall here, I suppose. Does that help in the downs? Not really. This row's been done for hours. Great. Well, that finishes these columns, which finishes these rows. No, it doesn't. Oh my god. I can't count. Alright, let's just erase everything there, I think, and get that back. So that, I think, was true. And then I noticed that this row was done, I think. Right, and since I know the last wall in this column is down here in one of these 2, it's not these. Right? And so doesn't that mean I need this? I think so. 3, 8. So now I know there's one of these 2 as well. So all 5 walls on these 2 rows are in here. None of them are here, I think, is what I was supposed to get out of that. But then have... I guess, okay. Keeping these two from connecting to each other must be important. Well, it's hard not to let them connect, even if I wanted to, I think. Because I now have 5 of these dominoes, each of which has 1 wall. I see. I think. Nope. Never mind, I don't see. Well, no. I know that I can't have 3 dominoes going like this because these would touch, but of course that's really ruining this row anyway. I don't need the information about these not touching to see that that's wrong. So it seems to me that just the mere fact that there's a domino between here, there's 1 wall in each of these vertical dominoes, necessarily prevents any connectivity to the X group. And I can't use that to determine which way the dominoes are oriented. So what can I use? One of them has to have its wall side up, and the others all have their wall side down. Well, what if I just put all their wall sides down? That won't be a solution to the puzzle. But presumably, only one of these could I actually afford to flip. Seems like I could flip that one. Right? Couldn't I flip that one as well? Seems that way. I must be missing something. I am. This too is broken. Oh, God. Send me to hell. I have no idea how to backtrack to get that fixed, except by going back and starting over. I don't know. I just don't know. We proved this has to get to here, so it can't get there. These can't connect. These can't connect. The wall has to be one of these two, so... we have that. The wall has to be one of these two, so we have this. Has to be one of these two, so we have this. And similarly over here. These can't touch. This is done. At least redoing it is less work than figuring it out the first time. I'm sure eventually I'll get back to a part where I don't remember what to do next. This is done. So these can't connect. Right, correct. This row is done. It has 5. That's the right number. Good. So connectivity here is done. These columns, or this column anyway, is done. This one is not. Those can't touch. This row is done. This row is done. Something up here now, I think. Sure would be easy if I just did this, but that would be wrong. Or at any rate, marking the whole column would be wrong. This 5 column is all wall, and so is this one. Okay, I'm in a similar position to when I blew up last time. I think the idea must be that actually this one is all non-wall, which would be allowed if we did this with these 2 dominoes. And so I must be proving that there's actually one more wall in here that I didn't know about before. Okay, this is 8 walls, so it has to go like that. I don't know. God, why do they give me such hard puzzles? Maybe I should be asking how many walls are left in total? Is that crazy? There's 1 in this row, 4 in here is 5. In each of these rows, 1. That's 8. In each of these rows, 1. That's 11. So the row count tells me there are 11 walls. How are those disposed within columns? I mean, I guess just a column count would tell me, right? But 3, 6, 7. Okay, let's count columns again. 1, 2. Skip this one for a sec. 3, 4. And then this column has 3. So there's 7 in this area. And here's the thing. If the last wall in this column were one of these three, I could never prove it. Right? Because there's no difference between like putting it here and these two versus like putting it here and these two. Every clue I have, every connectivity rule would all be identical. There would be no way to tell those apart. So I think you can tell by uniqueness / symmetry that these actually are not walls. I know there are some people who are not a fan of using symmetry or uniqueness or what have you. And so I try to avoid it for their sake, but at the moment, that's what I want to do. These have to all be walls. These have to not be. But doesn't this get me back to where I was before when I had this meltdown? You know what? I think I can do this without symmetry. Maybe. Maybe. Look at these 3 rows. They need 6 more walls. I could put them in down here. All of them. But I can't, can I? Oh, yes, I can. Hang on. Because then these 2 would both be non-walls. But there'd still be space right here for my little 2 guy to finish out his thing. But of these 6 walls I have to place in these 3 rows, I can only put 1 here at most. There's at least 5 in these 6 squares. Which means there's at most 1 of these 2? Who cares? That doesn't seem important. I think I'm just gonna... I wish I could like save right now and embark on a bifurcation journey of cheating. But I think this has to be true. Which would mean this. And also this. And then I have to fill this row. And see, nothing is illegally connected, just like we wanted. And I get 6 more shot into these squares and 1 more up here. And I think by symmetry again, this has to be where the 2's last wall goes. Because I couldn't distinguish any of these squares. Oh, I forgot it. I could have marked some... I don't know if I had this here last time I was doing the puzzle. This bomb can't shoot this monster. Yes, the groups can touch, but the bombs can't touch the monsters. That's what I needed to get this in. I see. I don't remember if I had that last time or not. The symmetry argument up here was right, but it wasn't necessary. And it never is. That's why they say symmetry and uniqueness are like kind of bad tools. You never actually need them. But they're powerful. This looks like, I don't know, a piano or something, or a flag? Is it still huge? I don't have the stamina for another huge one. I can maybe get through one more puzzle tonight, if you're not going to be too cruel to me. So this is another one where X is like... four minus 2y, is that right? No. That would be true if we had 10, but it's 5 minus 2y, right? Yeah. Well, y certainly can't be any more than 2. And x must be at least 1. What's the most x could be? 3 here, I guess. So if x were 3, y would be 1? X can't be 3. There's too much overlap between these guys. X would have the bottom right X would have to take these. Oh no, that would be possible. We could then take these. Yeah, okay. Y could go here and here. And no, who would get to this? Y has to be at least 2. Wow. So y is exactly 2 and x is 1. This is the only way we can get to this without making y too big. But I'm not sure which ones these y's are seeing here. You've got to go there because the wall has to divide the two y's. You can't handle either of these, and this could only otherwise be handled by you. Notice also there are 2 gems. Don't let that slip by you this time. That's usually pretty important. Two walls in this row. Well, at least one of them has to go in here. So this x has to go up, not left. So this y has to reach down here because no one else could get this. That's true. And then it has to go this way. Oh, this y, no, it can't reach here. So one of these y's is going here. Oh, this is interesting. I like this, I think. One of these Y's has to go grab this one, because you can't. Oh, wait, is that true? What if this X did it? What if these Y's both went over? That might just barely be possible, but it really risks connecting these gems. I think. Because this, if this were going over here, it couldn't touch this gem. So we'd need a wall there and there. And I guess to stop this from getting to here, which is also part of this big group, I would need a wall here. Could be possible. No. Because this would eventually connect up here. And there are only 4 walls in this column. I can't completely block this thing off from connecting to this column. So I don't think these Y's could both go to the side and have the X dart in here. I don't think that's possible. And if the X darted in here, they would have to. So the X can't dart in here. That's what I think I'm coming to the conclusion of. Okay. Well, if this Y went down, we'd have a very big problem. Because it would have to connect up with this column. There's not enough walls here. So it has to go that way. And we indeed do have to cut these off. Which is difficult. But not impossible because the X isn't coming in here. This is going down instead. So this is totally open, but we can't let these connect. So we got to do that. Oh, and we know there's a wall here. Okay. There we go. We just barely cordoned this off. Row, column, row. This column's not ready. This Y needs the bomb needs a wall here. That finishes the row. Column's done. Row's done. Or column's done, row's done. This is the column finished. And now we just need this last wall? Yes. Okay, I am out of here, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.